1911 – Manuel de Arriaga is elected and sworn in as the first President of Portugal. 1914 – World War I. The Battle of Cer ends as the first Allied victory in the war. 1931 – Resignation of the United Kingdom's second Labour government. Formation of the UK national government. 1932 – Amelia Earhart becomes the first woman to fly across the United States non-stop. 1933 – The Crescent Limited train derails in Washington, D.C. after the bridge it is crossing is washed out by the 1933 Chesapeake Potomac hurricane. 1937 – Spanish Civil War. The Basque army surrenders to the Italian Corpo Truppe Volontarie following the Santoña agreement. 1937 – Spanish Civil War. Sovereign Council of Asturias and León is proclaimed in Gijón. 1938 – Kweilin incident. A Japanese warplane shoots down the Kweilin, a Chinese civilian airliner, killing 14. It is the first recorded instance of a civilian airliner being shot down. 1941 – The Holocaust. Adolf Hitler orders the cessation of Nazi Germany's systematic T4 euthanasia program of the mentally ill and the handicapped due to protests, although killings continue for the remainder of the war. 1942 – World War II. The Battle of the Eastern Solomons. Japanese aircraft carrier Ryujo is sunk, with the loss of 7 officers and 113 crewmen. The U.S. carrier USS Enterprise is heavily damaged. 1949 – The treaty creating the North Atlantic Treaty Organization goes into effect. 1950 – Edith Sampson becomes the first black U.S. delegate to the United Nations. 1951 – United Airlines Flight 615 crashes near Dakota, California, killing 50 people. 1954 – The Communist Control Act goes into effect, outlawing the American Communist Party. 1954 – Vice President João Café Filho takes office as President of Brazil, following the suicide of Getúlio Vargas. 1967 – Led by Abbie Hoffman, the Youth International Party temporarily disrupts trading at the New York Stock Exchange by throwing dollar bills from the viewing gallery, causing trading to cease as brokers scramble to grab them. 1970 – Vietnam War protesters bomb Sterling Hall at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, leading to an international manhunt for the perpetrators. 1981 – Mark David Chapman is sentenced to 20 years to life in prison for murdering John Lennon. 1989 – Colombian drug barons declare total war on the Colombian government. 1989 – Tadeusz Mazowiecki is chosen as the first non-communist prime minister in Central and Eastern Europe. 1991 – Mikhail Gorbachev resigns as head of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union. 1991 – Ukraine declares itself independent from the Soviet Union. 2004 – 90 passengers die after 2 airliners explode after flying out of Domodedovo International Airport, near Moscow. The explosions are caused by suicide bombers from Chechnya. 2006 – The International Astronomical Union, IAU, redefines the term planet, such that Pluto is now considered a dwarf planet. 2010 – In San Fernando, Tamaulipas, Mexico, 72 illegal immigrants are killed by Los Zetas and eventually found dead by Mexican authorities. 2012 – Anders Behring Breivik, perpetrator of the 2011 Norway attacks, is sentenced to 21 years of preventive detention. 2017 – The National Space Agency of Taiwan successfully launches the observation satellite FORMOSAT-5 into space.